So I wrote a column, my weekly column. It's posted, and I hope you've read it. It's one of my best columns, I think. It's called The Woke Nightmare. And in this, I go over all the insanity that's taking place on the far left, that the media loves, including infanticide and all of this really insane business that you can't justify. And then I say at the end, I think there's going to be a backlash. I think Americans are going to rise up against this, but I don't know the timeline. Here's one of the big things, and this is important. The far left is very well organized and funded. You know, George Soros, we all know, and all that. A lot of money. And they have organizations headed by people who are paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Media Matters, Move On, Color of Change. There's maybe a dozen of them. And they all talk among themselves and coordinate. And they're the boycotters. So if you're a conservative commentator on TV and you say something they don't like, they're then calling Mercedes-Benz saying, oh, you better not sponsor them or we're going to get everybody not to buy your cars. And then they'll go on a Twitter mob and the Twitter people say it. It'll get big, the media pick it up. That's exclusively on the left. So where's the conservative groups to counter that and say to Mercedes, hey, if you pull your ads on this program, we're going to come out and say to all conservative Americans or fair-minded independents, don't you buy Mercedes. They're being anti-American by giving in to these progressive nuts. Where is that organization? Doesn't exist. It's not there. So that has to happen. Now, I've talked to some people in that zone, and I was very disappointed. They're afraid. Personally afraid. They are afraid. They say, hey, look what happened to you. If I do that, they're going to come after me. And they will. You got to have somebody with steel. But there's money. Conservatives would donate to an organization like that. But until there becomes a centralized force to fight against the boycotters and the propagandists and the haters on the left, and you don't have to be hateful. That conservative group can be factual. But it's got to be there and people got to know about it. That they can send donations or they can send whatever they want to send. And the conservative group will take action. Now, of course, they're not going to have the media entree that the liberals have, but they'll have some. Fox News would put them on. Conservative radio would put them on. And they have the internet. But again, there is no group like that. That's the key. Once a group like that gets up and running, then the backlash will start against the socialism and the insane public policies of the progressives. Because people have a place to go. They'll know the war is being fought, and their side has ammo. You know, it's disgraceful that American corporations will pull advertising because Media Matters and Move On threaten them. That's a disgrace. No due process, no anything. As soon as the Twitter mob swings into action, they get scared. But if you had another side that said, we're going to tell everybody you're scared and you're doing it, that's how I won the war on Christmas. I'm taking credit for it, yes, but I did it. Once I found out corporations were ordering their employees not to say Merry Christmas, I named those corporations. And their business model went down. And then when they reinstated Merry Christmas, we said thank you. Now, I didn't tell anybody to boycott them. That's not what I do. I just had facts. Okay, so the woke nightmare will only end when there is a popular backlash against it. And these are the things that are going to drive the backlash. Once you get the central conservative authority, taxes. I don't think anybody has an idea of how much Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders would tax you. your take home would be gutted. And the trade is, well, we give you free education, free medical care, but you don't get to pick your doctor. We'll pick that doctor. And you don't get to say what procedures you want. We'll pick those procedures. And you'll have to wait and wait and wait. So that's the trade. We're going to take most of your take-home pay. Because they can't just do it with the rich. There aren't that many rich. They got to do it with you. We're going to gut it. All right? Then lifestyle. You can't have a burger. You can't drive this car. You can't do that. You can't have your heat up. You can't. Once that starts to come home and your choices in life are narrowed, there's going to be a backlash. Because then people, oh, whoa, wait a minute. The third thing is abortion. You already saw the pole shift. Once you start saying, you can kill that baby if you don't want it after it's born. Once you start saying that, well, we don't want to be the Third Reich here. Fourth thing is the media. That's already happening. All right, the media has lost all credibility, as every survey shows. Democrats don't believe them.